Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. In the last episode, we saw how Viswamitra Maharshi went to the southern part and he did a lot of tapasya there, but then because of Trishanku and his interest to go to Swarga with the physical body, Vishwamitra Maharshi ended up losing a lot of his tapashakti. And then Vishwamitra Maharshi now moved where? He moved to the western part. Okay, and there he went to a place called Pushkara Tirtha. Okay, and there he started doing his tapasya. And as he was involved in his tapasya, Vishwamitra Maharshi, he forgot days, years, and he's getting stronger and stronger in his tapasya. Around the same time, there was this wonderful king called Ambarisha. Now, Ambarisha was doing a yajna, and again, as I told you, whenever we want to do great things, we want to do big things, we always have devatas under Indra who try to test us, who try to ensure that we are really on the right path. So, Devendra, he came and he took away the Yajna Pashu of that Yajna. Now, Ambarisha's Purohita said, see, your Yajna Pashu that we were supposed to have for the entire Yajna is gone away now, that we thought we would sacrifice after the Yajna, that is gone away now. Since the Yajna Pashu is not there, you will have to figure out or find it out as quickly as possible. And if you don't get an Yajna Pashu, come back and let me know. Now, Ambarisha tried in every other place for the Yajna Pashu and he was not able to find it because Devendra took it to Devaloka. So the Yajna Pashu was not at all found in the Manushya Loka. Then Ambarisha realized that he is not going to get it. Then he came back to his Purohita and asked, hey Purohita, please let me know if there is another way of completing the Yajna if the Yajna Pashu is not found. Now, the Purohita said, okay, if the Yajna Pashu is not found, then spend a lot of money and try to get a human, okay, whom you can sacrifice. Now, these are all the rules of Treta Yuga. In this Yuga, we don't have any of these rules, so please don't try to interpolate or extrapolate these ones into the current scenario. Okay, getting back, our King Ambarisha, he traveled wide and far, and at one point of time he reached the ashram of Ruchika Muni, and he asked that Muni, hey Muni, if you have a son, can you give that son to me for sacrifice, and in exchange I will give you 1 lakh cows. Mahamuni said, see, I love my eldest son, so I can't give my eldest son. He had 3 sons. And then the mother came out and said, I can't give my youngest son because he is the one who is very close to me. At this point, the middle child, whose name was sunasepha, the sunasepha comes out and says, okay, because my mom and dad want the eldest and the youngest, I am the one in the middle, so please take me. Now, the king Ambarisha gives 1 lakh cows and gets sunasepha and takes him on his chariot. As they were going back, they stop at Pushkara Tirtha. And who is there in Pushkara Tirtha? Vishwamitra. And Vishwamitra becomes a maternal uncle of Sunasepha in one way. So Sunasepha comes to Vishwamitra and he is in tears and he says about the trouble he is in. And at this point of time, Vishwamitra Maharshi calls all his sons and says, hey sons of mine, would any one of you be interested to swap places with Sunasepha, because he has come to me for Sharana and I accepted that I would save him. So for that, would any of you come and sacrifice your lives? Now all the sons would laugh back at Vishwamitra and say, hey father, how do you expect us to lose our lives for a word that you have given? This is not possible. And then they say, how can you exchange your son for someone else? Vishwamitra gets angry and then he curses again all of them to get into places where they eat dog meat. I think this is the favorite curse of Vishwamitra. Again, he curses them for 700 years. And now he says to Sunasepha, okay, see, I know how the yajna is performed. So at the yajna, they would tie you to a stambha or a pillar. Okay, when they tie you to the pillar, it means that in some time from there they are going to, cut off your head. They are going to give you as offer you as offering to the gods. At this particular point of time, I am giving you two mantras now. When they tie you to that, and when you realize that they are going to, give you as an offering to the gods, read these two mantras or chant these two mantras. Agni Deva is going to come and he is going to save you. Now Ambarisha takes him back, and then the Yupa Stambha is made, and to that Stambha or to that pillar or sunasepha is tied, and at that point of time, sunasepha recites or chants those two mantras. Agni Deva and Intradeva become very, very pleased. They come there and they tell Ambarisha, "Hey Ambarisha, we were just trying to test you. You stood by what you said, and this guy whom you brought here, sunasepha, he also read suktas and he made us very happy. And I am blessing your yajna. You need not give any of these human offerings to us. We are blessing you. This job is done, and you are going to get the results for your yajna." Saying this, they complete Ambarisha's yajna, and Sunasepha is saved, and that's how Vishwamitra ends up saving Sunasepha as well. Okay, and then after this, again for 1,000 years, Vishwamitra, he's a Rajarshi right now. He does tapasya, and after 1,000 years, Lord Brahma and all the devatas come and say, "Hey Vishwamitra, we are so pleased with your tapasya, and from now on we'll call you Maharshi." Okay, from Rajarshi, he became Maharshi, and the moment he became Maharshi, all the good things that the devatas were talking about him, he did not really, take them to heart. Okay, things were going good, and a few days later, Vishwamitra Maharshi, in one morning, he again decides to continue his tapasya. He is again continuing his tapasya, and as he is continuing his tapasya, one morning he goes to take a bath, and there he sees an Apsara, and her name is Menaka. And as he sees Menaka, Vishwamitra Maharshi's heart, in the heart of hearts, his heart moves a little. I mean, not physically, it's a metaphorical expression that I said. And he invites her to his ashrama, and in a few days, they both break all the barriers, they both become one, and they both enjoy their lives for the next 10 years. And after 10 years, Vishwamitra Maharshi, now he has become a Maharshi, he realizes his mistake, and then he realizes that it was a ploy of the Devatas to test his karma, and then he realizes that they succeeded and he lost. And then he looks and he gets angry. Menaka becomes too worried if she would be, cursed. And then Vishwamitra Maharshi does not curse her. He just says, "Go back to the place where you have come from." And then he moves towards the north, and he goes to Himalayas and starts his tapasya once again over there. Okay, now what did he do in the north? Obviously, we will be looking that in our next episode. Okay. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Tat Sat, Jai Shri Ram. Sarvam Sri Saj Maharaj Swam Charanarvindar Paramastu. Swasti.